Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, we're just going to do another Velocity Banking review. Did you know from time to time I get random unsolicited spreadsheets of people who've been watching these videos and they make like more than 10 grand a month, right? And I think what happens is they get shocked how easy it is to pay off debt because they've been paying their debts the way that the bank wants them to, right? And how does the bank want you to pay your debt? Well, basically, you get paid here, you pay all of your bills, and then you have to put the leftover in savings, right? And what we do in Velocity Banking is we dump all of our money into debt. That's really the definition of velocity banking. Okay. And we're not going to save money, right? So if we have all this debt here, we're not going to save money. And so it's going to look something like this. And this is going to make a lot of people that you feel uncomfortable. So this is a snapshot that I created of my checking account, right? So 19 grand came in and then 19 grand went out. Okay. 19 grand came in and then 19 grand came out. Now, if you ask the average person, why aren't you saving money? Or I mean, if you show the average person this, what would they respond? They would say, oh my goodness, why aren't you saving money? And because that's how we're trained. That's actually why we're going to struggle because when we don't save money, we can actually increase this number without making more of it. That's what velocity banking is about, right? And we use a line of credit to help us do that. So, what's a line of credit? All it is a financial tool where you can borrow money, pay back, and use it over and over again. And so, if you know how to control the flow of money, and you see this because this happens with people all the time, they see this stuff, they're shocked that they struggle with debt for no reason, right? And the more money you make, the more the bank wants to offer you debt until you have too much debt and then they're struggling, right? So again, it's like a vampire. When you're fresh, full of blood, meaning you make a lot of money, you have no debt, that's when they want to make the debt offers to you. But once you have too much debt, 10 credit cards, a student loan, and a mortgage, they're like, no thanks. Okay. Now, two steps to velocity banking. I always say this in every single video. Number one's a budget. So in the budget, it's very important when you do your expense breakdown, you list every single debt that you have because this is debt payoff strategy. And then at the end here, you list your general expenses, right? So this is the expenses we have to pay for every single month. Okay. But we're also going to get the help of a line of credit. So, what's a line of credit? All it is a financial tool where you could borrow money, pay it back, and use it over and over again. So, here, this is a home equity line of credit, home equity line of credit, right? So, what does this mean? Basically, it means my home is like a giant credit card, but even better because I could use it to pay for anything essentially, right? Like I can literally click a button on the bank's website and they'll jump up to $373,500, $373,500 into my checking account with the click of a button, right? So a credit card's a line of credit, but you can't use it to pay everything. You can't use it to pay your student loan. You can't use it to pay your mortgage, or it's very hard. Like I've done it with plastic.com, right? So I know all the tricks, but I'm just saying if I had to rely only on credit cards for my line of credit, my life would be a little bit more difficult. But since I have the ultimate flexibility tool, and again, there you want to use all of them because there's a reason why I have over $731,000. I was gonna say $300,000 in line of credit. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not it. I have over $731,000 in lines of credit, right? And so a lot of people, when they see this, they try to get lines of credit at a time when they shouldn't be. Why? Because I'm going to tell you the secret of how I got all these lines of credit. The secret is banks don't lend money to people who need it. It almost sounds similar when you remember the movie Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee, and he was like, boards don't hit back. Remember that? Boards don't hit back. That's kind of like the financial version of this. Banks don't lend money to people who need it. In fact, now that I think about it, I probably need to create a Bruce Lee version of these images I've been generating. So every time I have been inspired, or every time I think about somebody famous, I just type in, please create an image, this is ChatGPT, of a person who needs money and goes to the bank and the bank refuses them, right? And this is like Family Matters. But let me go back here. Anyways, back to my point is how did I get all these lines of credit? Is I understand the secret of banking of who they lend to, and they don't lend money to people who need it. And so if you understand that principle, right? You understand that principle, you'll be able to get lines of credit. How do you think I got this new $20,000 personal line of credit? I went to the bank or credit union. I didn't need money, and then I got it. So I have over, I was gonna say over 300,000, but that's not even true. I have over $731,000 in lines of credit because I understood that I don't go to a bank when I need it. Now, why do we do demonstrations with free and clear lines of credit, even though the bank is probably not going to lend you that, right? It's because the mindset that I want you to have is that it's almost like car insurance, right? You don't try to get car insurance after you crash the car. You get the car insurance before you start to drive. And so if you had known this strategy from the very beginning, you would never even be here. This is like your either your safety belt or your car insurance, right? But let's just assume we had a free and clear $175,000 line of credit. Okay. And let's say we move these credit card debts into the line of credit. Again, 10 credit cards. How much is this? This is 5, 8, 15, 27, 37, 10, 35, 12, 15. Was 167,000? Yeah, I do. Oh, 164. My bad. 164,000, right? So $164,000 in credit card balances. Let's just move here. Okay. And guess what happens just with a simple, I want to say snap because I'm thinking of Thanos. I remember when I got my first $280,000 line of credit. It's actually this one. I later on got the 373. I remember when I got this, I was like feeling like Thanos. I was like, I can snap my debt away in half or something like that, right? But once we do that, we move that $164,000 of debt. Guess what happens to these payments? Oh my goodness, these all go to zero, right? And so these 10 credit cards go to zero. And we literally went from $617 in savings to not saving money to $5,728.45 in cash flow. Okay. So when you look at this, you're like, whoa, I can't believe that you made you literally like multiplied this by like 9.5 or something or 10, almost 10. Like this is like almost a 10x multiplier, right? Without making more money because listen, look at this. Did this increase? No. We just redirected the flow of money. And that's what it's about. You just don't save it, right? And then the final step is you put your entire paycheck into the line and take your expenses out and then rinse and repeat over and over again. Okay. So what we're gonna do, and just be 10. So I2 plus 1, and then we're gonna take the previous month's balance and the interest and then subtract our cash flow, so 5728.45. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the average daily balance, multiply it by the interest rate, which is 0.085 divided by 12. And then we're just gonna rinse and repeat since this is all paid off, right? Paycheck in, we satisfy the monthly payment, we take our expenses out, and then we see that, oh, I gotta get rid of the highlights. This is ugly. What am I doing here? So let's get rid of this, no fill, font color black. Let me do this. All right. Okay. And let me just do, oh, this is not good. Why did I put 1 here? So this is gonna be I2 plus 1. Right, there we go. And let's see how long it takes for us to pay off that credit card debt, which is 32 months, not bad. So in 32 months, we paid off all the credit card debt, right? That's good, right? So we're gonna do that right here. And then in 32 months, so we're gonna do here, 32 months, we paid off 164K of credit card debt. That was easy. Okay, so we've done that, and now let's tackle on our student loan, $100,000, which is, I don't know if it's probably not a lot these days, but let's go to our loan calculator, and we're using the sort function to rank which debts to pay off. So I just do smallest to largest on what we call the cash flow index, and it's just a payment to balance ratio. And so what we're trying to do is figure out, hey, if I pay off a certain debt, what how much bang do I get for my buck? I mean, think about this. Would you give someone $287,000 to get $1,600 a month, or 79,000 to get $1,100 a month, right? Which one gives you more bang for your buck? It's obviously this one. So let's go ahead and pay this off, 79 grand right here, and move it to the line plus 79,738.55. And then what we're going to do is this payment now goes to zero, right? Student loan bye-bye, but we still have the debt. We just transferred it into the line of credit. And then we're just going to rinse and repeat the same process over and over again. So 6889.54. All right. So now, same process again. And look at that. You know how everybody's worried about student loans? Please forgive my student loans. Why not just pay them off? Because how long did it take here? It literally took us 45 minus 32 months. So 45 minus 32, that would be 13 months, literally in a year. We're good. We're good. Okay. All right. So now we did that. And then this is going to be 45 months. So 45 months, that's 264K. And then now it's the mortgage, right? So $300,000, 5% mortgage. And at 45 months, what is that? Now, here's the thing. Again, if there's a spread between the mortgage interest rate and the line of credit, and you have this high number, you probably don't want to move the whole thing into the line of credit. So that's why we had this velocity banking calculator. And again, I was doing a live stream today with Batman. So if you're a YouTube channel member, 99 cents per month only, you have access to the live streams. I was telling ChatGPT, come up with the scenario where you're Batman, right? And then we did a live stream on that. Actually, let me see if we can. Oh, where's the post? I don't even know. Anyways, we did do a live stream on that. But let me go back here. So that's why we have these huge numbers. But what we're going to do is show the difference between moving something entirely into the line of credit versus doing it in small chunks if you're going to use a line of credit to pay off your mortgage. So $300,000 balance. And the current balance is 282,199.34, 282,199.34. What is the interest rate? 5%, 30 years. And then the payment amount is 1610.46, 1610.46. And then the monthly income is, what's our monthly income? It's 11 grand. Ooh, that's a spicy meatball. And then not 100. Okay. And then the expenses is everything except for the loan we're trying to pay off, 2,500. And then let's do $11,000 chunk. So we see pay us off in 3 years. But what if we move the loan into a line of credit? I think we'd be slightly worse off. Yeah, 3.2 years and then 40 grand versus 3 years and 23 grand in interest, right? And if you want to know where I got this calculator from, I resell Renatus Education. I'm a quote independent contractor marketer. And so if you're interested in not only learning about velocity banking, but other stuff too, click the Google form link below. You may possibly join a cult. I don't know. All right. All right. So let me go ahead and do this right here. And then this is going to be 0. And so now we did it in 3 months. So it's 45 divided by 12 plus 3. That's going to be 6.75 years. And then 75 years. And then we are debt free. See how easy that was? Now you're probably looking at this like, why did I struggle? Right? Like, I can't believe I struggle with debt for no reason. That's literally what you're probably thinking. Yeah. I mean, I probably thought that too. Actually, you know what? I learned this strategy when I was really poor, making about 20 grand a year. And I was like, I'm never going to use this. And then I paid off a mortgage in 2 years and 9 months, right? This is my mortgage I paid off in 2 years and 9 months. So, anyways, all right. Well, that's it for today, folks. This is Carino Atlanta Mentorship. Have a great day, everybody. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.